brings a lot back beautiful memories and videos with us. So subhanAllah, this is a time, I wasn't planning to speak tonight. I was, inshallah, be talking tomorrow night about the political stuff. But, tonight I just felt that it's important to, someone can get disheartened of hearing what, watching the videos that's happening in Gaza. And I just want to tell you all that the people of Gaza are good. The people of Gaza are actually much better than all of us. Because subhanAllah, they have woken up the Ummah. They have shown not just the Muslims, but they showed the whole world what Iman is. And you see the videos, especially the young folks on social media, you saw how many Americans, all backwards, what are these people? It's strong faith. A mother after losing all her children just have the strong faith. Strong faith that, subhanAllah, that they're praising the Lord and they're accepting of what happened to them. So subhanAllah, this sabr jameel, this beautiful patience that these people have over there. But I just want to tell you just briefly about Palestine, and what's happening in Gaza today, and what's happening in Syria, what's happening in Sudan. They're all connected, by the way. Everything that's happening in the Ummah today is connected. Because the people of Syria will not have freedom because of Palestine. Because of Palestine. This was actually a calculated move when the whole under Obama, when what's happening in Syria, because he said the red line and they used chemical weapons and all that. But Netanyahu made a call to the White House and said, this is our red line. He's going to stay in power. Sudan, why do you think that it's stabilizing Sudan? It's because of Palestine. And this is a long story to what's happened in Syria and Sudan, but just know that this is all connected. Because Palestine is not just about my people, it's about the whole Ummah. And I see people from the subcontinent that are here. I want to tell you a story. In 2002, I took 3 of my friends from UC Berkeley to Gaza and Al-Quds. And when we went to Al-Quds, an older Palestinian gentleman, he saw them from the subcontinent, 2 Pakistanis and Bangladesh, American born students. He saw me got excited, very old man. He went up to them, said, where are you from? And they said, your ancestors came here in the 30s from the subcontinent, this was before Pakistan, before partition. And he said, when the Arab nationalists were meeting here in Al-Quds, they came to remind them that Palestine and Al-Quds is a waqf until the end of time for the Ummah. And these guys, subhanAllah, it was such a powerful moment for this old man to tell, these 3 brothers the story. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is keeping this away from us. Historically, when the Ummah was strong and united and our hearts, were pure, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He gifted us Al-Quds. Al-Quds is a symbol, the state of our heart, the heart of this Ummah. So inshallah, hopefully this ushers in the change that will bring about. Inshallah, because subhanAllah, when you go to Gaza, always, it's a concentration camp. And there was actually a doctor from a famous American hospital. He's a psychologist. When he went there to work in Gaza, he became actually a Muslim. He became Muslim because he said, I've never seen a people like this. And we just asked him, how are you? They never complained. He said, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. And then you quote for this, it's a struggle till the end of time. This is our role. And wallahi, the people of Gaza could have sold us out, all of us. Because if the people of Gaza sold us out, the Quds would have been gone for sure, right? But they knew the meaning of them to do this rabat, this standing up against oppression, what it meant for the whole Ummah. And they could have sold us, as Jared Kushner says, Gaza would have been a beachfront resorts and all this stuff. But they never sold that to the Ummah because they knew their role. And the question is, what is our role? What is our role in all of this that's happening? And so, just briefly, I don't want to keep you guys here too long, but we just know that our spiritual state is connected directly to what's happening in Palestine. That's a lot of literature and condition of people, it's a literature and condition of ourselves. So you might be asking yourself, me in Panama City, what role do I have here in Panama City, of all places? You're not in a major city or a capital city, subhanAllah, everywhere, everyone plays a role. Well, amongst us here, it might be Salahin. many were salihin. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answers the salihin. Especially the young people. The young people, they realize the power of dua. In your sujood, when you're making sujood, that you make dua for the people of Palestine, the people of Syria, the people of Sudan, the people of Kashmir, the people of this ummah. When you're constantly making dua for them, you never know, maybe someone in this room right here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will answer your dua. Especially if you get up maybe 20, 30 minutes before Fajr and do it at the end of the night. You never know who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to answer your dua. And so the one thing about Gaza is, you know, the shaheed, how many does the shaheed, the martyr, intercede on behalf of? 70. So right now they're saying the numbers killed 50,000 up to 180,000, even more. When we were at 30,000, we just did some calculation. They said it's 70. That's the entire population of Gaza. So maybe inshallah the entire population of Gaza is guaranteed Jannah because of there's all the shuhada around them. And every family has suffered. Over 1,000 families have been wiped out from the registry. Imagine. Husband, wife, their children, 1,000 families all gone. SubhanAllah. So we have to ask ourselves, what's our role? Tomorrow I'll talk about the political stuff. But tonight, just to realize that, SubhanAllah, that Allah is in charge. He's in charge. Don't despair. Wallahi, don't despair. Because you see, we should learn from their strength, from their iman, and make it strengthen our faith. In that same trip, when they were in Gaza, I took my friends to see, at that time the settlements were still in Gaza. And everything there was this, the settlements, and there was this military installation, there was a gun tower, and everything, all the Palestinian homes were destroyed all around that area. So there was a wall standing, and in English, in graffiti, they wrote, "You may destroy our homes, but you'll never destroy our souls." And after that, there was a man and his wife. It was one of the only houses that wasn't destroyed in the area. So I took them out. Mine is 2002, right after a year after 9/11. So I get out. I said, we got out the taxi. I said, "These are my friends, Muslims from America. They want to say salam to you." His wife runs in right away to grab whatever drinks. And this man immediately goes up to them. He says, "We hear that after 9/11, that the government there has been very bad to Muslims." SubhanAllah. We're looking all around, everything's destroyed. And this person from Gaza, he's worried about Muslims in America post 9/11. SubhanAllah. And if you think they're not paying attention to what's happening in America, for the young college students that are here, you saw when the encampments started taking place all around the country, what did the people of Gaza do? They started writing on their tents in Mawasi, in Rafah, in Khan Yunis, in Deir al-Balah. They were writing the names of the universities here in the US that were holding encampments for them. So they're paying attention. They know what's happening here. And that's what's important for the young Muslims here, to make sure that they're involved and they're engaged in all these efforts to stand up for justice. And because a lot of times I'll be honest, I went to some campuses, and the Muslim students, MSA was not involved. It was leftist groups and other things, but the Muslims were missing. To the point where imams were coming to campus, chastising the young Muslim men, shaming them for not being part of these efforts to stand for justice. So, my brothers and sisters, I want to do this. That the least that we can do here is dua. The least that we can do is our own spirituality. For the young men and women in this room, what are you going to sacrifice? They're sacrificing everything. They're sacrificing their lives for this ummah. What are you willing to sacrifice? Many young people, especially the men, the time that's wasted, video games or social media or watching Netflix and all these things. If they can sacrifice their lives, can we sacrifice these things that will make us a better human being, will make us more serious about life? I'll tell you just a quick story. When I was younger, so I'm going to age myself, but during the first Intifada, I used to come home from basketball practice, and I see my mom and my grandmother crying. And I knew, every time I see them crying, I knew someone became a shaheed. Who was it this time? Who was it this time? And so at a very young age, in middle school, you felt this guilt. You felt this survivor's guilt. Imagine now, and imagine back then, right? So now it's much worse, but back then, you felt this survival that I'm here from Palestine, from Gaza, and my family over there is living in a concentration camp, and I'm living here in freedom. So I used to say, what am I going to do with my life? Well, I used to feel guilty watching an entire basketball game. And back in the day, the Warriors weren't that good. They didn't have Steph Curry. This is back in the day. So you wait 2 hours and they lose the game, and I wasted 2 hours. So I said to myself, I feel bad. Well, you know what? I'll watch the last 2 minutes, and if they win, great, and if they lost, I didn't waste time. But wallahi, you see grown men wasting hours every week watching sport game after sport game, watching series on TV, playing wallahi, grown men who have children who play video games day and day and night. What are you going to sacrifice? They're sacrificing their lives, and you sacrifice, not being addicted to these things. And one time there was a dear brother, his son was visiting, and I said he was addicted to the game, he was on his phone all the time. I said, I went on YouTube, and I said, effects of video games. I said, inshallah, it'll be a good video that can impact him. Well, this video was powerful. It was an American doctor, white guy, talking about the impact of video games and TV and Netflix and all these things. You know what he said? He said, when you watch TV and you're playing video games, it numbs your frontal lobe. It numbs your frontal lobe. And he said, what does and the frontal lobe impacts your spirituality, ethics, and morality. Think about this for a second. Your frontal lobe impacts your spirituality, ethics, and morality. What does the Quran say? A nausea, a caddy, right? A lying, sinful frontal lobe. So my brothers and sisters, we have to be more disciplined. If we want to make a difference spiritually, if we want to make a difference in our lives, we have to take our lives more seriously and not waste time. Wallahi, time is so precious. Can you imagine the people, let's say, if they had the luxuries that we have, how they would feel? Wallahi, I'll tell you, in 2002, I was there when that attack happened, when they dropped a 2,000-pound bomb on a residential building to kill a Palestinian leader. And they killed 19 people and women and children to the point where Bush condemned it. It was about 1:30 in the morning. I had just fallen asleep. Wallahi, within a split second. I was from laying down, sleeping, to standing up in one split second. And this bomb happened far away. Wallahi, it was far away, not even in our area. And I said to myself, every war, these kids now, this is their 5th war, 6th war. Imagine being awoken, you can't even sleep. This is what they complain about. They can't even fall asleep because of wallahi, kids, little children having heart attacks because of the bombs, just because it was what it did to their heart. So we have to just say, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Every night we go to sleep, we don't have to worry about sounds, bombs, this and that. So this is it. I leave with this. That inshallah, just reflecting on what's happening, that not just watching it, but saying, inshallah, make me change my life, make me live a purpose-driven life, that let me do something. And so young people here, wallahi, if you're in India, is to work, go to college, to do good for the ummah, but like every single step, every single second is considered ibadah like prayer. So inshallah, make your attention, fine-tune your attention, and inshallah, this community here in Panama City, from the dua, from the support, and we'll talk about the stuff tomorrow, inshallah can be, make a big difference for this ummah right here, inshallah. Jazakumullah khairan, subhanallah, wa bihamdihi, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.
جزاك الله خير.